Good evening, Cougs. Today is Thursday, September 14th, 2017. I'm Sharinna Byrd, and welcome to at UH News. First, we would like to welcome back all faculty, staff, and students after a week of despair. Many of us are rebuilding our lives following Harvey's destruction, and the road to recovery will be tough for many, but we will remain Houston strong. Some of our fellow Cougs volunteered during this time in order to ease the painful aftermath of Harvey. Our host Lorenzo Perrett sat down with SGA President Winni Zhang to see how Cougs made a difference.
So after the devastation of Hurricane Harvey, many students found themselves eager to aid and to go out and volunteer. And you, along with other Cougs, was out there with students volunteering and providing relief. What was that kind of like, and what were you doing?
So for me, I just focused on, it started with going out in the rain one day and just kind of seeing the bayou. And then I noticed in the corner of my eye that some students were in a corner talking, debating, and so I walked over, just talked to some of the Cougars, see how they were doing, how they were weathering the storm. And they were actually telling me, the neighborhood next door, the old village, actually had a lot of senior residents that were, the first floor was flooded out and they needed to be evacuated. And that's when I thought, there was so much that could be done in your community, even if you were flooded in, even if you couldn't get to the shelters. And that's when I kind of joined that group to help assist the senior residents. And then from there, I decided, there's so much more that I can do. I'm unimpacted, and I could go out to the community and volunteer at GRB, NRG, BBVA, all these different opportunities. And it was really great seeing so many Cougars out there. I worked registration on one of the days at the GRB, and it was just continuously just Cougars coming in, wearing their UH shirt, prideful, and helping out. And it was just really heartwarming to see.
Good. So what were some of the things that you saw when you were in George R. Brown or any other location? Did you get to talk to anybody?
Yeah, so I actually I worked some rounds in the different halls. I talked to a couple people and helped some of them, and one of them was an elderly woman, and she actually didn't have any ice for her insulin, and her insulin was a specific brand, and just to see she lost everything in the home. She was there with her dogs. She was also wheelchair bound, and she was just telling me about her story, about how terrifying it was when the water started coming up and no one was there to rescue her for almost 18 hours. And just to hear those stories up front just reminds you just how impactful that storm was for others. It may not have impacted you, but how much you can also offer and how much you can help in the community.
And now that the storm has passed, there are some communities recovering and returning back to normal, but there are still many out there that need help. What can Cougs do to stay involved and to continue to help out?
So there's a lot of volunteering opportunities still open. Specifically, the NRG still needs a lot of volunteers, and then different shelters and donation replies. That's an excellent way to help out, but to help out your Cougar community directly, donations for anyone who knows small businesses. We're currently working with Google to provide Chromebooks for those who've lost their laptops, but to just be open and have some students have actually offered up their dorms, and that's incredibly sweet. But just donating to the Harvey emergency flood, there's so many opportunities if you visit the Harvey page at UH that you can just find all these opportunities to volunteer, to help out in any way, shape, or possible.
We love to see our Cougars coming together during tough times. Thanks to all who made a difference. If you'd like to see the full exclusive interview with the student body president, you can click on the link in the description below. If you have been affected by Hurricane Harvey or want to help those still in need, UH students, faculty, and staff can go to their Access UH account under the tab Harvey Resources and click on the Cougar Care icon, where they will be redirected to numerous sources for support and volunteering. For more information on disaster resources, volunteering, or donating, visit www.uh.edu. Now in more unfortunate news, as a result of Hurricane Harvey, the Underground Student Center satellite has been closed since last week due to flooding. Thankfully, Cougs, we have confirmation that the satellite will reopen on Monday, September 18th. In honor of Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, the Student Government Association hosted End the Stigma today outside in Butler Plaza. They collected a variety of t-shirts from several organizations on campus and laid them on display outside to highlight the immense amount of support for suicide prevention on campus. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us on AUH News. I'm Sharinna Byrd, and always remember, your school, your story at UH.